30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes.
Is there anybody out there that wants to roll? And is there anybody out there that wants to boogie? Tonight, live from the Apollo, Glasgow.
Well, if you're looking for trouble, I'm the man to see. If you're looking for satisfaction, the satisfaction guaranteed. I'm as cool as a body on ice, hotter than the rolling dice. Send you to heaven, I'll take you to hell.
Welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with Scott and Andy.
Well, we couldn't do that. I think there's a chance that I had too much time in my hands. What?
What are you doing, mate?
Excellent. You think it's brilliant? I think it's great fun.
Have you thought about the pets, mate? You've not thought about the pets.
Well, hey, I got the countdown matched for a change because it was going like 5 and it was 8 and it was all over the place. So, anyway, good evening and welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur.
And me, Andy Muir, live in not.
I can sense this is going to be a really bad show. Oh dear. Right, welcome back, folks. Really sorry about last week. I tried everything I could to get us live, but it's 1995 in Devon, and they still have that funny wee noise at the start. Oh, it's just horrendous. So sorry, mate. I know you were dead excited. What are you doing with your lighting? You look a bit like some sort of character out of... It's quite scary, that. Oh God. And anyway, it was difficult. So my apologies.
What am I doing with my lighting?
What I can see,
I'll get my key light fixed.
What I can see, mate, right? Your key light, the blind?
Yeah.
Here, I've even got sound stuff in here now. It's getting quite professional. This, quite good. Got 2 cameras as well. It's amazing. Anyway, so yeah, sorry about last week. I did try. I even sat in my car and tried to do it with my mobile phone, but there was like half a bar on the phone. So my apologies for having to drop out last week. I hope you enjoyed the Tom Russell show. It seemed you did because loads of you watched it. So thanks very much for tuning in regardless. So this week, what are we doing this week, mate? What are we doing this week? Well, we're doing the same as we do every week, except we've got a few bits and pieces that are slightly different, as you probably noticed from the start. But we've got a few other bits and pieces. So it's been quite nice, quite interesting, hopefully for everybody tonight. So what have you been up to this week? What have you been listening to, mate?
Oh, I listened to Adele.
Oh, aye.
A few times. I quite like that song. But I listened to Mr. Big. I listened to Labby Sifri. I listened to Thin Lizzy. I listened to Tammy Wynette. I listened to Tangerine Dream. Oh, I was getting all over the place, mate. David Essex, even.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, me clouds, don't let me.
Exactly. Well, I kind of, believe it or not, I do listen sometimes. And some people said to me 2 weeks ago that I should go and listen to some punk. So I did. And I've been reading books and listening to various shows, and still not convinced. But I've enjoyed it though, and I have enjoyed it. I mean, I got right into Richard Hell. I really like him from the New York punk scene. That really he was interested in that guy. I've been listening to them, and a wee bit. Now there's a documentary, and I'll probably put it up later because it's worth watching for everybody if you've not seen it, about the punk scene in London, 76, 77. Don't know if you've seen it. It's on YouTube, the YouTubes. That's pretty good. And then I was sitting having a cup of tea, doing some work, and there was a ping on my phone, and it was basically Porcupine Tree have reformed. Here's the new song, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I was thinking, oh, here we go. Steve Wilson's going to take his pop mince into the Porcupine Tree domain, but he didn't. It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Because all the conspiracy theorists are saying it's because his pop stuff's been a bit flat, but nevertheless, it's fantastic. It's great to see him back. I would love to have seen him at the Apollo. Anyway, so that's my week. Another thing is our house has been rewired, so at any point,
Yeah.
I'll go
Okay,
for
good.
a smoke.
Good.
So anyway, I thought we'd do the order slightly different, Andy, and I never even told you, right? But there's so many bands this week. I thought we could maybe start in a slightly different place, mate, because it is kind of good lordy. So if you don't mind, I think we'll start with this. And just before I do that, you'll have seen me flashing up there that if your name isn't appearing in the chat, and rather it's saying Facebook user like this one here, if you just click that little link, if you go to the top of the Facebook group, it's pinned at the top. I say, Glasgow Apollo Live goes live at 9:30. In there's a little link. Like Andy will moan at me if I'm not putting it in the chat. But if you click on that, that'll mean your name will come up like everybody else. Now, we're really keen if you're the first time watcher, if you could put your name and tell us where you are. Sorry, mate.
I don't see that link.
Do you not see it?
No.
It should be there at the top of there's a funny. There has been some nonsense with Facebook. Hang on, I'll put it in the chat myself. Hold on. But if it's your first time in, please drop your name and where you are in the world, because it's terrific to see where you're coming in from. I think we've managed about 20 countries now, so it is pretty impressive where folk are tuning in from. So, but let me just see who's all in here. John's here. Hi, John. How are you? Fireworks to start. Yeah. One of our John is. He's always travelling. So I think you're up north somewhere, aren't you, John? One of the islands. Dave. Hi. How you doing? I know, and I'm sorry. My fault. Well, not really my fault. Devon being 1995 is what happened. Bon's here. Hi, Bon. Yeah. Hopefully, business as usual. Tony. Happy Bonnie night. Yeah. It's happening all around me. I don't know if you've got it where you are, because it's daylight where you are, so you won't. What a stupid thing to say. What a stupid
It was last night.
Was it? Was it good?
And, I don't know if you know that this country's quite prone to burning.
It's quite hot, isn't it? Yeah.
So they don't like fireworks much.
Yes.
and they're illegal here anyway in New South Wales.
Oh, are they? Oh, right, okay. Well, I live in this little town in the Cotswolds, and there's all these fireworks going off, and I've just heard a fire engine, which is slightly worrying. Facebook user, good evening from Glasgow South Side. How you doing? And here's Doug stateside. So good to see you all, folks. So this week in the socials, mate, what's been happening?
What's this bit?
Socials.
Is that? I can't remember what this bit is.
How many folk are on the Facebook group?
Well, yeah, okay. I thought you said that was different. We're doing it in a different order, are we?
We are. We're going to do this first, and then we're going to do the gigs. Oh, God. This is our pre-production meeting live on air in front of everybody.
Do we do this usually? All right, okay.
No,
all right, well, okay. There's 43 new users this week. Is that what you want me to do?
That's what I would like to do. I think it's a great idea.
43 new users this week. I know what I'm doing. Maybe. And we had 10,000. There's 10,282 members. Thank you very much.
Marvellous.
And there was 6,263 active members this week. It's very good. There's a few excellent comments, a few good threads. There was a good thread. Oh, anyway, sorry. There's been 65 posts this week. 1,332 comments and
wow,
3,500 thumbs up, likes, angry faces, quizzical looks. reactions from people. That's it. It was good. It was a good week.
Pretty good.
It was a good couple of threads. It was a good thread about a good post from a guy called Bert McClay, confessing that he'd been to see the Osmonds.
I saw that.
And he was, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been many years since my last confession, and I'd like to confess I went to see the Osmonds. Yeah. So there was a few people expunging their ghosts.
Yes.
Gigs past, so that was quite good fun. Yeah.
It's quite funny. There was some quite good band bashing, which I thought was quite good fun. Not always very adult, but still quite good fun. Jethro Tull got a bit of a bashing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw some person said a horrible man and a horrible band or something. I was like, wow.
Yes.
I don't know the guy personally.
So I saw them live a couple of times. They were pretty good when I saw them. When I saw them in the 80s, past Edinburgh Playhouse and stuff like that, they were pretty good. But Tommy's making a good point here about Malcolm Dome.
Yeah, I did read that.
Lukowski, yeah, Malcolm and Pete passed away. I mean, Malcolm has been everywhere. You know, it was quite a shock that actually. I didn't know he'd been ill. And I saw that. So Ellis, our photographer guy, saying that he was a really nice fella and he was really sorry to see him pass. It was a real shame. It's getting to that point now. Nearly every week we could have a column on the show, couldn't we, about who's deed this week?
In memoriam.
Yeah, it's getting quite annoying. But particularly, I liked Malcolm's work. Thought he was a brilliant guy, nice guy. Apparently, I mean, I've never met him, but apparently he was a really nice fella. So yeah, thanks, Tommy, for reminding us of that. And who else is on? Ricky's here as well. Hello, Ricky. How you doing? Saying hello to everybody. So that was the socials. So let's go back to the normal structure, mate. The normal structure.
All right, okay. I just forget it every week.
I know every week you forget. I mean, actually, it's maybe me that forgets and you remember, and then I tell you forgotten and you believe me. So we're both as stupid as each other. Right, now
I love that tune.
We're going to enjoy this, guys, aren't we?
Well, I mean, it is a bit down from last week, which we didn't get to do, and there was 60 bands last week.
Was that blinking egg?
Oh, maybe more than 60. I wasn't looking forward to running down that list. Yes, okay. Mott the Hoople and Peace. Peace fronted by Paul Rogers of Free fame at that time. That they played on November the 4th, 1971. I should have looked up Paul Rogers playing with Peace because he's my favourite singer. And
I had no idea he was in another band. That just shows how stupid I am. I honestly had no idea.
I knew he was in that band, but I just had forgotten.
But
didn't look it up. Yeah, but Mott the Hoople. I think I sourced a Mott the Hoople gig. I think this week. I haven't listened to it yet, but I got it. I think it was on YouTube or something from the Apollo. I'm not sure. So that was 50 years ago. My God,
it's incredible, isn't it?
And Humble Pie and Frampton's Camel played Thursday, November the 2nd, 1972, 49 years ago. I love Humble Pie, and I think they're very good. I like them, good band. They recorded some album, a couple of sides of one of their live albums. Smoking, is it? Smoking at the Apollo, at the Greens. So that was a good thing. I haven't listened to Frampton's Camel. Don't know if they're related to Camel.
I don't know that either.
maybe he left and they just kept going as Camel.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
don't know if any Camel aficionados are out there. Maybe they could let us know. Labi Siffre, he played on October the 31st, 1973. Like I said earlier, I listened to his album. He had an album out at the time called For the Children. It's a revelation to me because I'm not really, didn't really know much about Labi Siffre apart from Something Inside So Strong.
Yeah.
It was the only song I knew of his. I remember. But then I was looking into his history and stuff, and he wrote "It Must Be Love," the Madness.
Did
They
he?
covered it, and they made it a massive, probably a bigger hit than he had. But he wrote that song.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, and the album's called For the Children. It's a great album. It's sort of appealing to people to think about the children and what they're going to do and leaving the world in a better place. It was really good. There's a song called, I'll tell you, there's a 10-minute song on there, nearly 10 minutes, called Let's Pretend. Brilliant song.
He's a progger at heart.
Eh?
He's a progger at heart.
No, I don't think he's a progger, but it's a really good album. And most of the Shadows played on the album, but don't let that, if you're not a
Really?
Shadows fan, don't let that put you off. They're great musicians, so they played a lot of the Shadows played on his album.
Right.
Anyway, would have been a good album, a good gig. And if you fancy something different, have a listen to that. Roxy Music with Leo Sayer played on Friday, November the 2nd, 1973. It's 48 years ago. That would have been a great gig.
Yeah.
Sweet and Salvation played Sunday, November the 4th, 1973. Oh, it's Friday. Oh, that's a good week. That October 31st. Yeah, it was a good week. Second and the fourth. Sweet playing with Salvation with Major in the Salvation at the time, I guess, and ballroom blitzing all the way there in that gig. I posted this ticket for the next gig, Bay City Rollers, on November the 3rd, 1974. I think a lot of people liked that gig. A lot of the the women on the group went to that. And a couple of guys, I saw a guy had posted that he went, and he went himself. And he didn't tell anyone that he'd gone in case he got beat up at school. It was his last week at school or something. He said, "Oh, I didn't tell anyone I was going." And someone said, "Why did you go?" And he went, "Oh, I like the music. Why not?"
Good for him. Yeah.
Good for him. I don't think he heard much. Just a lot of screaming.
No, you wouldn't hear it.
Leonard Skinner and the Sutherland brother. This is so difficult for a Glasgow person to say. Leonard Skinner and the Sutherland brothers and Quiver played on November the 1st, 1975. Now, I'm not sure if I had a poster for this gig. Someone sent me one, but it was a good one. That would have been a great gig. I think the Professor was there. Derek was there. Derek McAdam.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. I mean, he was there. Did you see that post? Boots Stanley put on saying, "What was your favourite years at the Greens and Apollos?" And Derek just put all the years.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. I thought that was pretty funny.
Fair enough.
That was good. That was a good little bit of banter there. And Sutherland Brothers and Quiver, I've listened to them a few times. I thought they were a pretty good Scottish band. Jack Jones.
Somebody asking there about did Leo Sayer dress as a clown when he supported Roxy? I think he did in that tour, didn't he? Remember he did the wee clown outfit? Yeah, I think he did. Facebook user.
Right, I don't know.
Sorry, mate, interrupted you.
You'd have to look it up. Jack Jones, Lenny Bennett, Lynn Paul played on Sunday, performed, I guess, on Sunday, November the 2nd, 1975. I didn't look this up, but is Jack Jones a comedian?
No, he's a kind of one of these. He's a crooner, I think.
Oh, is he? All right, okay.
so.
But was Lenny Bennett a singer as well as a comedian?
I think he was. That's quite a lineup. That.
Lynn Paul, who was she? Was she a singer too?
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure. I mean, I remember Jack Jones had. I mean, obviously, when I was aware of him in probably the 80s and the 90s, he did shock white hair. I'll see if I can
Right.
find a picture of him. Yeah, but he was a crooner. Yeah, he was definitely a crooner.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Jack
But
Jones.
so the sort of thing my dad would sit and go, woof, woof, woof. What a singer? Woof. Nobody does that.
Listen to
What's
that.
that?
That's class. That's a class guy.
Influenced by Elvis. Influenced by Elvis.
Well, everyone was, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
There's the man there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Ricky Price, that's you can be into Shiwaddy Waddy when you're 13. Doesn't matter. You can do that. There's no shame there's no shame there. Yeah. But he really wanted to go and see Leonard Skinner, I think. So Thin Lizzy and Clover played on the October the 30th, 1976. This was in the Johnny the Fox tour, I think. Clover featuring had a future member of Huey Lewis and the News. I think, well, Huey Lewis was in Clover, so it was Huey Lewis, and I think a lot of the band, a couple of the members of Clover went on to be in Huey Lewis and the News, and I think Huey Lewis played on Phil Lynnett's solo album,
Right.
if not on the live album here. Maybe he probably came on and did some some stuff with Lizzie there, because I think there was a section for harmonica in one of the,
good, yeah.
one of the, yeah, he's very good at that. Anyway, Tammy Wynette. That actually, I would have loved to have gone to that gig, because I listened to the Hammersmith Odeon gig that was only a couple of weeks after that one. It was the basis for Live and Dangerous.
Yeah.
But I listened to that gig. Amazing gig.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really good band. I love Lizzie. They're up there with Bad Company for me. Bad Company and Free. Tammy Wynette played on Wednesday, November the 3rd, 1976. I listened to Tammy Wynette and George Jones album. I love it. I love that album. It is so good. Duets, amazing. They had a song. They got a song called "Golden Rings." I don't know if you've ever heard that. Golden Ring. Have you heard it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's a classic country and western song. It's brilliant. Right. Country song. You heard "Crying Time"? You must have
yes,
heard "Crying Time."
Yeah.
That's on that album. And then there's a song called "Even the Bad Times Were Good." It's so country. The whole album is, well, obviously country, but the lyrics are brilliant. And the Golden Rings album is a really good album. But she released that year, 76. She released 3 albums.
Did she?
That's mental. Yeah.
Just come back a step. There's John saying, and right enough, John had forgotten who Lenny Bennett was, but of course I know who Lenny Bennett is. It's this guy. He was all over the telly for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's an entertainer.
Absolutely. Somebody else died today, didn't they? The poor soul. What's his name? The dancer. Oh, that's terrible. My brain's gone. Anyway, keep going, mate. Sorry, I'll come back to that.
Oh, okay. David Essex. Yes, I listened to this David Essex album as well. That was very good. He would have been sparkling his blue eyes at the young ladies in the audience, or young men. You know, good looking lad, nice earring, and the hair. Yeah. So I listened to 2 albums of his this week. Very good. He's playing up to his fairground type
Yeah.
history. I think one of the albums was called "Going to the Fair" or something. It was quite pretty good. The Drifters with Christian, they played on Friday, November the 5th, 1976. That would have been a great gig. Christian, Glasgow boy. So I didn't see anyone commenting on that going to see that gig, but
No.
it would be good. I'm pretty sure the Drifters family loved it. Yes, with Donovan, they say they played on November the 5th, 1977. 5th. Why am I saying 5th? All right. 1977. Do you know what tour this would have been? 77?
No.
No. Okay, good.
That's a famous. I mean, that's a really famous gig, that, because Donovan was quite an unusual selection to support. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Was
Maybe
it-
he was wanting to just branch out from his psychedelic folk, trying to go a bit proggy. He
Yeah.
probably didn't though.
I imagine.
No. AC/DC, supported by Blazer, played on November the 1st, 1978.
Yes.
Was this the first? Is this the first time they went to Apollo?
Don't
Not
think.
sure. Could have been. I think this was their debut performance at the Apollo. Someone will tell me, Bon, you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
Sham 69, supported by Leo Sayer. No, that's not right. Sham 69, Friday, November the 3rd, 1978. This was... I did listen to some Sham 69 this week too. They're fine. They're good. They're just a rock band, really.
Shouty rock band. Yeah.
I don't know what the fuss was about. A bit shouty.
Yeah.
Just a bit shouty. Yeah, it's fine. I wasn't. Yeah, it was good. Good. But Horsham Boys, is that right? Yeah, Horsham Boys. And the Kids Are United. They're good. They're fine. Good songs.
It's a good song. It's a great song.
Yeah. And it's a positive message they've got. So
Yeah.
they weren't like destroying stuff. They were about building it up.
Yeah.
So kind of the opposite to Sex Pistols. They wanted to anarchy, and maybe the Sham 69 had a different agenda. They wanted to change it and make it better.
Yeah, I think the conclusion that I came to reading all this stuff about punk this week, the Sex Pistols were told that they wanted anarchy. Sham 69 had a message. Yeah.
All right, okay.
One of the commentators said the Sex Pistols were the monkeys of the punk world.
Oh yeah, okay.
I quite liked the monkeys.
I quite like the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah. But they were a boy.
You know how when you're a kid, right?
Yeah.
And you just hear something and you just accept it.
Yeah.
And you don't question it. Like the name Sex Pistols.
Yes.
That's just a name, right? There's no connotation for me. It's just like, oh, that's their name.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then it was until I came here, like there's a band called the Celibate Rifles. So
Right.
it's the opposite, the Sex Pistols, the Celibate Rifles. And then there's another band called Machine Gun Fellatio. Right? And for a little while I was just like, oh, that's two words put together. And then I went, oh, that's quite a statement there you're saying. Anyway, they're a good band, Machine Gun Fellatio.
Are they? Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's funny how words. I mean, I think I confessed this before. I used to think that ITV was English television. I did for years, and it's like I remember when ZZ Top came along, everybody went, "Oh, it's ZZ." You'd never say ZZ. It's ZZ, but you just took it as an So you're quite right, mate. Yeah, quite right.
You just take things on face value, and then you go. Not till later you think.
What?
Maybe it's just my case. I was like, oh, right, okay, got you. Oh, Sex Pistols. Okay, go. That's an inflammatory name, I guess. Leo Sayer played in 1978, November the 4th.
Yeah.
Wow, that was looking. Well, there's some week that week.
Fantastic.
AC/DC, Sham 69, and Leo Sayer. He would have been. Oh, why am I super loud then?
That was me, mate. Sorry, that was me. I was
Yeah,
playing
okay.
with settings. Sorry.
Oh, played it. So he would have been. I mean, I've got a bit of time for Leo Sayer. He's a good singer. I don't I don't care. He's a good singer.
He
And
can sing, the boy. He can definitely sing.
he wrote some good songs.
Yeah, he
Maybe
did.
he was a wee bit, you know,
Well, I'll say
artist.
he's a weirdo. He's a bit of an arse, but he's a
No,
bloody
no,
good.
I didn't think he was that. I just thought maybe he's a bit theatrical in his
He liked
presentation.
himself.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And he lives over here now, so he's fine.
Says it all.
Hey. Come on. Came for the weather, stayed for the lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this week, and the Jam also played with Patrick Fitzgerald and the Dickies. I don't know anything about Patrick Fitzgerald. I know a little bit about the Dickies. They played on November the 5th, 1978. Wow. I hope there was no bangers going off in the crowd there. But that would have been a great gig. Jam at the
It's funny. It's funny how there's quite a few of these American punk bands came
Yeah.
across, played between 76 and 78. I mean, punk only lasted 18 months, didn't it? But the Dickies were pretty punky. You know, that was not that far. Well, I guess the Pistols had dissolved by this point, but it's good to see them coming across and playing with bands like the Jam.
Yeah. So, well, you know, it's the right crowd for them.
Yeah.
The Jam were a wee bit raucous.
They were a bit. Yeah.
And they had their mod leanings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Are you a mocker? Are you a rocker or a mocker? Are you a mod or a rocker? No,
Yeah.
I'm a mocker. Right.
Have you been waiting to say that for years, mate?
Yeah. I think that's I'm not sure who said that. It might have been Ringo Starr or a Beatle or something. Yeah. It was in a movie. Leo Sayer again, playing the next year, 1979, October the 31st. Same again. He's a good singer. I can't fault him for singing. And if he's coming back year after year, he's obviously got that. I mean, that's 3 years.
He sold the place out. I mean, he did very well on some of the gigs.
Yeah, sold the place out. He's a good guy. Steve Hillage with Trevor, supported by Trevor Rabin, played November the 2nd, 1979. I'm afraid I don't know much about Steve Hillage, and the only thing I know about Trevor Rabin is he went on to be in Yes, but he's a good guitarist. So,
great guitarist.
And Steve Hillage is a guitarist, is he not? Is he a guitarist? Yeah, he's a guitarist. Was he in Yes? Genesis?
Oh, I don't remember.
Come on, crowd. Come on, Hive Mind, let me know. I think it was Yes or Genesis. This is so bad. We don't know our history. We don't. No. Oh, don't sing that. The Jam and the Piranhas played again the next year, 1980, October the 30th, 1980. Obviously, another great album, probably. And the Piranhas, know nothing of them. Sorry, Piranhas. Elkie Brooks played she played in October the 31st, 1980 with Richard Digance. I saw someone say, that it was on the replying to this post that they didn't know who Richard Digance was really, and they thought he was just the guy who just came up on the telly occasionally and did stuff on.
Oh, he did.
That's Life or something, but something like that, you know. But I'm pretty sure he's a great musician, wasn't he? Did he play the piano?
He played the piano. Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah. He's a good musician. You know, probably more musician than comedian, was he?
I don't know if he was known for that.
He write funny songs. Is that what he did? He wrote humorous songs.
He did. He wrote those little sort of jokes about current affairs and what was going on in the media. Yeah, that's how I remember him.
Okay. AC/DC and the Starfighters played 2 nights, November the 1st and November the 2nd, 1980. That'd
have been all right, wouldn't it?
That would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
That was Back in Black.
It was.
Yeah. So you lucky buggers who went to see that gig
Yeah,
got to see them. Just that was the first tour after Bon Scott died, introducing Brian Johnson
yeah,
to the crowd. That would have been amazing.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think, oh no, that was Blazer Blade. Anyway, I don't know who the Starfighters were, but were they?
Were they not one of the cousins? Were they not one of the young family, the Starfighters?
Oh, maybe it was
I think.
Stevie Young,
Yeah,
who's now in AC/DC.
yeah.
I think he fills the slot of Malcolm. No, he doesn't. He goes in where Malcolm was.
Nephew.
Tangerine Dream. Yeah, he's a nephew.
Yeah.
But he's probably about the same age as. I mean, he's
I
probably.
think he is. He's pretty much the same age, I think.
Tangerine Dream played Monday, November the 3rd, 1980. This is the Tangram tour, and I love that
Yeah.
Tangram album. It's brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, I agree.
Two sides, excellent album, and I play it a lot. I play it a lot because it reminds me of stuff. It's a good album, and if you watch the movie with Tom Cruise, Risky Business.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of Tangram in that where he's running around as he does in every movie. He runs around.
He does.
It's a bit of running around.
Looking worried.
Yeah, looking worried, looking
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah.
It's in there. It's a bit of that. Him and Christ. Imagine him and Mel Gibson in a movie. You'd just be running all the time. Well, in the 80s, it would have been just running after each other and going, oh, my. Anyway. Motorhead with Weapon, they played on November the 4th, 1980. Oh, man, look at that week. Christ.
I know.
The Jamming was brutal. AC/DC, Tangerine Dream, and Motorhead. Yeah.
Can I just say, Danny, who's a singer in Weapon, who's a pal these days because he's one of the very first people that ever contributed to the website, and he's always on, and he's a lovely guy. He's had some real shit in the last few weeks with people passing away from cancer. So, Danny, man, thinking of you, buddy.
Okay.
He's had a bad time. So,
all right.
he's a good lad. He's a really nice man.
Yeah.
And a fine singer, actually, a fine singer. They're not a bad band at all, Weapon.
Are they American?
No, British new wave of heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah, he lives over in Stockholm now. But he's they're still two. They're called Weapon UK now because there was a bit of a fallout. You know how that happens.
Oh, all right.
Musical differences and all that. But yeah, he's still gigging. They come over to the UK. Well, they're playing Camden quite a lot in London. So they're still pretty active, and they're not what you would call making a fortune or anything, but they're still going.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's pretty good. There's been like funny enough, the Sweet and Weapon are quite interchangeable. The guys playing both bands, it's quite an unusual mix.
Oh,
Because,
right.
yeah, they're all good mates, and apparently they mix and play. There was a band called, is it Paddy Goes to Hollywood or Paddy Goes to? Oh, I can't. But that was actually a supergroup of Sweet and Weapon, I think. So yeah. So sorry.
Paddy Goes to
Holyhead.
Holyhead. Yes,
Aye.
that's right. Holyhead.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Tuesday, November the 4th, 1980. Thin Lizzy again, playing on Saturday, October the 31st, 1981. I don't know who the support for this was, but
I don't know that.
no one said. No one's told me, and I should look it up. I've tried, but they, I love Thin Lizzy. They're a great band. And I read a big article in Classic Rock about them this week. He's pretty good. Yeah, about Jailbreak and Johnny the Fox too. Don't believe a word and everything. It was a good
Magic.
article. check it out on the Classic Rock website. Cliff Richard, 1981. I don't know if he was wired for sound at this point, but
Yeah, I think he would be. I think he would be. That's around about that period, isn't it?
is it there? Well, that was on November the 4th, 1981. That would have been. I mean, if you're a Cliff Richard fan, you're gonna love Cliff Richard. You know,
Oh,
and you know, he's not going to disappoint. He'll do his slow dancing. You know,
He does
that
his
stuff.
thing. Yeah, he does his thing.
Yeah, he does his stuff. Diamond Head and Tank played on October the 30th, 1982. I think I read that on the Facebook group there that Tank got
Booed
pelters.
off. Yeah.
Got pelters in the singer. I think he's the singer. Algie Ward. He said, "Oh, can please give us a chance." Mate, don't do that.
No.
You've given up. Yeah. Oh, he was in Gong. Is this Barry replying to Steve Hillage?
Yeah.
He was in Gong. All right, okay. Hillage was in Gong. Thank you, the Hive Mind. Thank you, chat. Duran. Oh man, I actually listened to this gig as well from the Apollo.
It's good. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's
Can't
not-
sing to save himself.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say he was singing as well as ever. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think he's got better. Have you heard the new album?
No,
It's pretty damn good.
is it? Okay.
It's a good album. Yeah, they're still doing good music. And his voice is as bad as it always. I mean, as good as it always was. You know, it's that sort of broken voice he's got. It's quite unusual.
Well, when I was watching it, listening to it, I was thinking, my God, you're going to do yourself some damage with that.
Aye.
He's got a kind of vocal quirk that when he finishes the phrase, he'll do a little squeal or something. That's going to hurt you. That's not sustainable, as Ken Tamplin tells me. I don't know if you know. He's a
But he
singing
has
teacher.
sustained it, though, hasn't he? He keeps bloody doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our that's yeah, he's still going. So that's good on them. Good on them for having a go. They're good. They're doing well. Adamant played November the 1st, 1981. Oh man, my research failed me here. I forgot to look at that.
I think it's his birthday yesterday. I think he was 68 yesterday, Adamant.
Who was? Adamant.
Yeah.
Was he?
Aye.
Well, that's ridiculous. How can he be 60? How can he be that age?
Exactly. He can't be that old.
That's not right.
He's either 67 or 68. I think it was 68.
That is ridiculous. That's
mad.
How can that be?
Yeah.
He was just jumping from the boat.
Aye.
But he's not doing that now. I bet he's got on my knees.
Aye.
And my back. Oh, my back. And Christopher played on November the 3rd, 1982. I did listen to Christopher. Yes, Facebook user. Thin Lizzy supported by Clover, yes. Hugh Lewis, pre the news. Yep.
I went to see Christopher on that tour.
He did not.
It
Who
was
did you go with?
Girl.
In 82?
Aye. No, wait a minute, you're right. It was 85, I think, wasn't it? I've got the year wrong.
Yeah, you went. You get the year wrong.
I have to say, Christopher, whatever year. God. He did that Christmas song. Oh, God.
He did a Christmas song?
Remember that Christmas song that he does?
No.
It comes out every year. And he did it in June. It was like, weird. I remember thinking, I'm in the Twilight Zone here. You know, it was like... And I think the night before I saw him, I think I saw Twisted Sister as well. So it was like heavy hair metal one night and Krista Sludge the next night. And it was, you know...
Well, mate, don't be disparaging him because he takes people to court over stuff. He's taken. I read that he'd had like 12 people. He'd had 12 court cases about sort of slander or stuff. And
he's easy to slander. Here's John saying,
and he's won them.
John,
And,
get
and
lost.
Andy's won. Andy's won the cases. So
Has he? Good for
yeah,
him.
yeah. But I did listen to Patricia the stripper, John, on your recommendation. I'll not be listening again.
No,
That's all I can say.
no.
You know,
It's just
because it wasn't my.
oh, if you like that sort of thing, it's great. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Lady in Red was a really good. If you like that sort of music, it was a fantastic song.
What was the don't pay the ferryman, that
That's
one.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's not a bad
that was
song.
all right. That was
Yeah,
all
it's all
right.
right. It's all right.
Yeah. And yeah, he's fine. He's fine. If you like it, you like it. If you don't have to tell me. Uh, ABC played on November the 5th, 1982. They'd
Yeah.
be doing a look of love and all that stuff then at that point. That would be their high point in their career. And pretty good gig it would be too, I bet.
Probably.
Because they're pretty good musicians, though, those
Yes.
guys.
The guy, another one with quite an unusual voice, didn't he?
Martin Fry? Martin
Yeah.
Fry, I think it was. I don't know. I think it was Martin Fry. Michael Schenker Group, supported by Wildlife, on October the 31st, 1983. You didn't go to that, did you? I did.
No, I went to see Wildlife though in Edinburgh.
All
I think
right.
it's because that was the year before I went to uni, and I think I went. I have a recollection because I remember it was the guys for Bad Company, wasn't it? It was
No, it was one guy from Bad
one
Company.
guy for Bad Company, and the boy always had a keyboard. I remember the keyboard tie he wore looked like wasn't great, but they were a good wee band though.
Oh no, well, it was FM. They went on to become FM.
Good wee band. I liked them.
The guy's a brilliant singer. Stephen Copeland, something like that. I think his name was Steve Copeland, something like that. I think. Good band, and I think one of the guitarists now is involved with the Winter Storm in Troon. I think he's involved
Is he?
in that.
All right.
Yeah, I think he is. I'm not. Could be wrong.
Right.
Could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong many times. But I remember this gig. I thought Steve Overland. Yes, you're quite right, Bond. Thank you very much. Good on you for helping me out there, Steve. He's a brilliant singer, great singer, in the Paul Rogers vein.
He is very much so.
Well, he's very Paul Rogersy. Yeah, or blues rocky.
Yeah,
Same
definitely.
Danny Bowes,
Ah.
Thunder, Steve Overland. Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that gig. I remember, and MSG were excellent, obviously, and Schenker was great. I remember that gig. That was good, and I think.
Well done, mate.
What's his name? Glenn from Sensational Harvey Band. What's his name?
Yes.
Chris Glenn. He was
Chris
playing, and I think the drummer Ted
Drummer was
McKenna.
as well. Yeah, the two of them were.
Yeah, so that was a great gig. I
I
enjoyed
always
that
thought.
gig.
Do you remember the MSG recording? It was on Tommy Vance's show from Reading. It was outstanding, but they never quite got there, did they? They never got as big as they should have been.
Maybe
Gowie Baden.
because they kept changing the singer a lot.
Aye.
I mean, they've got heaps of singers now.
Yes.
You know,
Good
the
singers.
Dougie White,
Macaulay.
Robin Macaulay. Yeah, so that's Gary Barden, Robin Macaulay,
Brilliant.
Dougie White.
Yeah, not bad.
The other guy.
Yeah.
The guy Graham Bonnet, he was in them too.
As well, yeah. So
yeah,
not bad. But there's well
a
done,
great
mate.
lineup of bands this week, and
wasn't half.
the issue I've got is I don't have any time. I really want to listen to all this stuff and research it. It just takes a lot of time. But yeah, I need to go back and listen to some other stuff there. Yeah.
Here's somebody saying you should try Spanish Train. I have. I don't like Chris de Burgh. I think it was probably nothing wrong with Chris de Burgh. But I just no. It doesn't resonate with me at all.
What's
Lyrically,
what's that Christopher song? The Christmas song.
I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But anyway, a few things that were coming up there. There's the picture of Leo Sayer, mate, just for you, with his clown outfit on.
Oh yeah,
I knew
you
you
wouldn't
did
have been
that.
doing that on a support tour though.
I don't know. But Barry's saying MSG are coming back to Glasgow in 2022. Yeah, they'll be great. I mean, they're always good value. I hope they get.
A spaceman came travelling.
That's the one.
It was going when you said it. I was going. Is that the one that goes?
Yeah.
A spaceman came travelling.
That is the one. Yeah. God.
All right. Okay,
I break out in hives every time I hear it. Anyway, this one, I don't know who you are. Hello, thanks. These are good comments. I worked at a gig with the Sex Pistols. Part of their rider was China Cups. Doesn't surprise me at all. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that. I was keeping an eye on there was a bit of stuff going on in the Facebook group not this week, but last week, about it was about the pavilion because they cancelled the John Lydon gig.
Aye.
And it's getting a bit heated, but people are people.
Aye. We need to calm down a wee bit. And thanks for everybody reminding me. It was Lionel Blair that passed away this week. Which he was a nice man. Him, I always thought he was lovely, and kind of famous for being. I guess he was a precursor to a lot of these folk that are famous for being famous because he was an exceptional dancer, but I think he got more famous when he was doing all the shows, like the game shows, didn't he?
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s. So he just came across as a really nice guy. So thanks for jogging my memory, everybody. There's loads of you. Got a better memory than I have, but that wouldn't be too hard right enough. That quote that you used, it was Ringo right enough in Hard Day's Night, mate.
Thanks, Ian.
Excellent. I knew somebody would know that.
I'm a mocker. Brilliant line. Are you a mod or a rocker? I'm a mocker. Brilliant.
You can actually just really hear him, can't you?
Yeah.
And I flashed this up earlier, but Ricky saying, "Don't worry, Scott, we will crowdfund your bail if Chris de Burgh comes after you." Yeah, thank you, mate. I doubt he would lower himself. Anyway, well done. That was a brilliant week, and it's amazing when you consider some of the weeks we had just a few weeks ago, where we had maybe 2 or 3 bands, and now we're up over 40. It's amazing. So well done, Andy. That was some really good memories there for me, certainly. And there's loads of comment. What's this one? I don't understand this one. What's this one, mate?
He was in ABC. He wore a gold suit.
That's it. Got it. I remember him now. Yeah, I've got it in my head now. Yeah, I see why he called him that. But I heard him quite recently, and he was actually very good. He was doing a thing. I think it was with Aha, and there was a few. It was the one of these, old fart tours that they do these days.
Old fart.
Yeah, hits of the 80s. They all bring them all in with their zimmers, and they kind of, but he was actually very good. Aha were amazing. Bloody hell, that guy can sing still.
Well, the guy who produced the Labi Siffre album, he went on and worked with Aha.
All right, okay.
It's good. I look. That guy's got so many songwriting credits. The guy who did that stuff.
It sounds like it, mate. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Good band.
Okay.
Good band.
Let's move on and talk about something else that's happening quite soon. Right, we're getting together on the 17th of December in Lauder's Bar on Sauchiehall Street, almost directly opposite where the Apollo used to be. And we've now sold 63 tickets. We're nearly sold out. So if you are wanting to come along, folks, please go across to the Eventbrite site. I've got the link here.
What is the sellout?
80.
80. Well, there was someone, I don't know if you replied back to them, but someone said, will tickets be available on the night?
I saw that, and I've put a call into Lauders about it because I think it'll depend. It's quite difficult to answer. I think it'll depend if people don't show up, which is possible, or if the rest of the pub is quiet, which is not likely, not at Christmas.
Yeah.
I think that I think it's going to be difficult, but it's only a fiver for a ticket. It's not a big risk, and in fact, you can get a refund up to the day before the get together, so there's no risk at all.
Okay.
Really. So if you want to come along, grab a ticket because they will sell out. I've got no doubt they're going to sell out. In fact, if my brother get his finger out his bum, he would be buying 5 tickets as well. So, but he hasn't yet. But he's not getting in unless he gets a ticket, mate.
Your name's not on the door. You're not getting in.
You're not getting in. I don't care if you're the singer of Van Halen. Anyway, but no. So thanks for buying the tickets, folks. It's amazing. Absolutely delighted with that. Both of us are. What we'll do with the money? It costs us, I think, 150 quid to hire Lauders, including the buffet, and then any other money we make, we'll use to fund the software that we use, and hopefully producing some t-shirts and stuff. So it's all going back into the show, really. So I think we'll make up 100 quid, mate. We can go off to Barbados. Amazing.
Yeah, we can play that song.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, we really I think it's amazing that you've bought tickets. So thank you very much. It's absolutely brilliant. It's brilliant. Cannot say enough about it. It's just absolutely fantastic.
And if you want to buy any more, buy some more. I don't care.
Yeah, buy more. Yeah. And on that front, we'll be launching our Patreon site quite soon. And that's just a way that you can help us by contributing a $5 a month to help us pay for this. I mean, the software costs about 400 quid, guys. It's not cheap. So it'd be good to pay for that somehow and keep things going. And other things that we can do.
Helps with the hosting of the website.
Exactly that, mate. Yeah. And we've got some other things up our sleeves. So, it's quite cool. So the bit of the show that winds me up, but I love at the same time. This is where we encourage you to send in your Apollo memories on video. Now, we've had about 10, and we've got 10,000 members. What's the maths? Somebody do the maths. It's 0.1%.
Yeah.
Right. I want to get 10% of you. So I want 100. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. I really would like to see more videos coming in because... What are you saying? Don't check my maths. It's so long since I've been to done maths at uni. I can't remember.
10% of 10,000 is what?
Is 1,000.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I got it wrong. Anyway, send us your videos. Now, what Andy did, because he's a wee nosy Parker, and he's always... he spends all these days on the internet just typing in Glasgow Apollo, and he found a video.
Have you got my usage?
Yes. Now I'm getting quite advanced on that front. I'll tell you about that later. But we did find one. Now, this is not a guy who ever was at the Apollo, but he is a guy that I think quite a lot of us would quite like to have seen at the Apollo. But the band he went to see...
At the first gig, it's always a really important thing.
Thin Lizzy.
It's pre-punk, but still, you're talking about a pretty strong band.
At their height of their powers.
Where was it?
Glasgow Apollo. And I think it was a Johnny the Fox tour. I went with Alan McGee. And,
What do you remember from the show?
I think that the opening song was Jailbreak because they had the sirens and the smoke and everything. And it was just, it was like beyond, the sirens, the police, flashing police lights, sirens and smoke bombs and everything. And I don't know if there was smoke bombs, but I'm just imagining that. But they definitely had the sirens and the police lights spinning round and round and round. All in it had a bass with a mirrored scratch plate.
That's right, yeah. No,
So they would have a guy working a spotlight to hit Phil's bass, and every time Phil moved, the spotlight would, flash onto somebody different in the hall. And
that's a good trick.
And I remember feeling that, McGee said years later, he goes, when you left that gig, all you said was, yeah, Phil touched me, he's shone the light on me from the bass, I definitely felt that night that when the light hit the scratch plate, it bounced off and it hit me. I know that it did.
Mr. Gillespie from Primal Screen with his Glasgow Apollo memory. He's a super What?
He was talking about Alan McGee.
Aye.
If you didn't get that.
Alan McGee's the guy was he the guy that discovered Oasis? Is it the same guy? Yeah, I thought he was. Look at that patter though. Look, what's he like? It's like there's been a bad smell or something. It's like
It's just his face, mate.
yeah. But anyway, nice memory, and I remember that on that Thunder and Lightning tour, the one that you and I went to at the Apollo. He was doing the very same thing, wasn't he, with the mirror bass? It's fantastic. It was really cool. So
it's a good trick.
It is good, and so that's the sort of thing we'd love from folk, because it's only a minute and a half long, but it really nails that memory. And I mean, I've got it in my head right now. I'm at a Lizzie gig again, with that mirror guitar getting shone into the audience. That's fantastic. So well done, mate. Well, thanks for finding that. That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And so next up, we're going to do this. This is something that came up on the Facebooks a few weeks ago, where it was John Henry was posting pictures of matchboxes and stuff, and we thought it'd be a great idea for folk to send in their artifacts and the things they've either acquired, nicked, or bought about the Glasgow Apollo. So I'm not going to, unfortunately, because of my troubles at home this week with the electricity, I've not had time to look at what people have sent, but there are a few. But we've already been sent pictures of jackets that people bought. We've had bits of Ozzy Osbourne's outfit. We've had matchboxes. We've had plectrums. Obviously, with things like tickets, and we've had things like programs. And I have to say, I don't know if you agree, Andy, but I think the ticket collages that people put on, particularly when they first come to the site, still get me. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. I always look through and go, "Oh, how was it that? How was it that?"
Absolutely.
But
so if there's anything, So if there's anything you've got that you want to show, please send them a picture onto the Facebook group, or send it onto the group email, which is apollomemories@yahoo.co.uk, and I shall put that onto the screen in a minute, and I'll do it in a minute or two. So that's the artifact part. I love it. I think it's one of the best bits that we've had, one of the best ideas that we've had from you guys. So it'd be great if we could get some more. So we're going to do some music now, mate. What do you reckon?
Hard rock, heavy metal.
No, we're going to do something different. It's quite nice.
James Last.
There's very little music that's not hard rock.
Wombles. The Wombles bootleg.
And if the Wombles turned up, we'd just do the whole show, mate. We'd have it with us. We could do a reaction video. If the Wombles recording comes up, we'll do a reaction video. You and me on it in the corner, and we'll watch it live. And sing along live to the Wombles, or the new Status Quo single, whatever your preference is. Anyway, this is a band who really, it's the Boomtown Rats. So they had this period where they went, they did really, really well, and they had some fantastic songs, Don't Like Mondays, etc. Fantastic songs. And then, when Live Aid came along, this is what Geldof says, that was the end of the band for a while. They came back as the Rats, and then they reformed in the 2013 or something as the Boomtown Rats. But their career went up and down, and then towards the end of their sort of first peak, they went from being quite big and having number one singles to being playing back in pubs again. So weird career. Anyway, this is a song that was on this week from our friends over at Rescued Recordings. Heads up, thanks Jack McCafferty, Stephen McAnally, and Phil Osborne. Absolutely brilliant. We couldn't do this show without you guys. It's fantastic. We really appreciate it. And this is one that came in, and it's a Radio Clyde recording, so it's really good quality. Now I have to confess, I only know the singles. I'd only heard the singles that they did, and obviously Geldof was in The Wall, the Pink Floyd film, but I didn't really know much about the music. And I went through a lot of the albums just quite quickly, but I did go through, I think, the first 4 albums, and they're okay. They're better than I thought, mate. The singles are obviously fantastic. I think Don't Like Mondays is a fantastic song, but But I think the word is eclectic because they go from quite almost avant-garde stuff to quite heavily reggae influenced to these
Yeah.
beautiful ballads. They're quite unusual. Anyway, this song, I don't know what it's called. I couldn't understand a word that he says on the recording, despite it being really good. I think it's my ears rather than. And I even went through the set lists online, and I couldn't get the song. But I want to play the first song because the introduction is really good. So forgive me for my ignorance. I hope there's a Boomtown Rats fan out there that can tell me who this is. Or maybe if someone's got Shazam or something, they can tell us what it is, because I'd quite like to know what it is. But this is the Boomtown Rats from their 1982 tour, live at the Glasgow Apollo, thanks to Radio Clyde.
Greetings, citizens of Glasgow. 'Tis a long and weary road we have travelled to bring to you tonight the Boomtown Rats.
That was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're
That's
quite
fine.
rocky. It's quite
Not
rocky.
heavy metal.
No, but Cheryl's suggesting, and I think you're right, just about right, Cheryl. Sounds like he's saying as close as you've ever been. And I googled that, and it says it's as close as you'll ever be. There you go. Close as you'll ever be. That's the name of that song. But I thought it was quite bluesy. That I thought it was pretty good actually. I
Yeah.
quite enjoyed that. Quite enjoyed it. There was some good piano on it, and the bootleg is very good. Sorry, the rescued recording is very good. If you're into the Boomtown Rats, it's well worth listening to, and the crowd's magic on it. So it's
Is that on? Where's that? Is that on YouTube?
well, it was just one of the ones that Jack, Stephen, and Phil just post on their Facebook
Oh,
group.
okay.
So I've downloaded it. I'll play another one from it because it's a good recording and it's not Harry Chester's as Boots would say. But I've not seen Boots in this week because he causes trouble when he's in. So I don't think he's been in this week. But anyway, good song and a good band that never didn't last very long, but they were pretty good. They were pretty good.
Still
So-
going, mate.
They are, I saw that, and it's pretty much there's two members have changed, but it's still pretty much an original lineup as well. Quite amazing.
I think I said this before, but he plays the guitar right-handed, left-handed.
Does he? Upside
The long
down.
way around. Yeah.
All right, okay.
No, he
Didn't
plays
know that.
a normal guitar,
Right.
just flipped over.
All
And,
right, okay.
I think I listened to an interview with him, and when he goes and writes songs with the guy,
Yeah.
he just plays stuff to him, and the guy's like, yeah, okay. And then the next day he'll come back.
Right.
I've got it. And then the next day he'll come back and he'll just start swearing at him, going, "No, you've got it all.
Right, okay.
No, not like that, like this."
Yes.
Just like what I said. You know what Bob Geldof like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think
in his,
let me check the chat, see if there's anything else before we finish. Well, thank you very much for tuning in this week, everybody. It's been amazing being back. It was funny. I really missed it last week. It was quite peculiar not doing the show on Friday night. So it's good to be back. Thanks as always for all your contributions. If you'd like to support the show, you can do 2 or 3 things. You can go onto this site, Ko-fi, and buy us a coffee. It costs £3. £3 or 5. Is it £3 or £5? £3, I think. We'd really appreciate it. It really helps. And if not, buy a ticket for Lauder's Bar, or go for it and buy tickets for both to help us with this, because it is really appreciated. So, so my name is Scott MacArthur, and you've been listening and watching to Glasgow Apollo Live, and he is.
My name is Andy Muir, and you've been here.
You've been here. Now, one of the things we do if you're new, and I think there are a few new folk. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned somebody is coming up as a Facebook user, but it sounds like you're a new person. Can you see who that is, mate? Because I tried, but it's quite interesting because you're talking about a couple of random Apollo memories. Crocus 81 backdrop was a working castle portcullis. I've seen pictures of that. Yeah, I quite liked Crocus. The guy was a good singer. And the Scorpions in the 80 inflatable Scorpion drum riser. Oh my goodness. Imagine that in 1980 with the technology they had back then, mate. So
brilliant.
Anyway, so if you are a new user or even a frequent tuner-inner and you'd like to join us for more of this absolute nonsense, come across to Zoom in the next 10 minutes or so, and we'll have a chat. And it can go on for quite a long time, and it gets a bit silly, which is good fun. We enjoy that a lot, and there's a lovely group of people there who will welcome you. Oh, it's Ricky. Sorry, Ricky. You need to type in that wee code, Ricky, and get your name up, because I think you did before, though, didn't you? Because I remember your name being on here. That's annoying. Anyway, so if you want to join us for the Zoom, that would be great. And if not, we'll see you next week. So thanks very much for tuning in. And if I can work out how to do this, we shall play the end credits. Good night. See you, mate. See you later.
See ya. Bye.